You're watching another UWBadgers.com video exclusive. I'm Patrick Herb. Well, Thursday offered the Badgers a final day of preparation before Saturday's season opener at UNLV. The team will leave Friday afternoon to fly to Las Vegas for what head coach Bret Bielema is calling a 99% business trip. That other 1% will be a small tour of the Las Vegas Strip upon arrival before they retire to the team hotel for team meetings and last-minute preparation. Bielema met with the media after Thursday's practice to give his take on facing the Rebels.
Well, ironically, we've been practicing indoors the last couple days to try and get the heat factor because it was so cool outside. So today we went outside for the first time and got bombarded with a rainstorm. So we practiced in the rain, but I'm doubting that's going to help us out at UNLV. So we finished up practice inside. I thought guys were crisp. From an injury standpoint, the guys that missed camp won't be there. I don't know if Mike Taylor will be able to go. He's going to travel, him and Kurt Phillips. So, if Mike can't go full go, we obviously won't put him out there. I know both those guys, him and Kurt, want to get out there, but Kurt's probably yet another week away yet. That's it.
Early in the week when the old lineman said that the first practice of the week, I think it would have been Monday, was a little bit ragged. Mm-hmm. Both said wasn't too pleased. How has things progressed?
It was Tuesday. Tuesday? Yeah. Well, I think two things happened. Sunday we gave them off, and Monday they came in a good tempo, but then Tuesday just a little bit sloppy on some things. Things that beat us before the snap. We made a special point of correcting it, and they've been great since that point. So I also think coaches, they're ready to play a game too. Everybody thinks players want to. Coaches need to take out their aggression on the opponent as well.
Coach, talk about the realignment and just general thoughts. I know obviously Iowa isn't in the division. Thoughts on just the
well, there's six other teams that aren't in the division too. I knew that however it panned out, somebody was going to be, without probably a traditional rivalry or a game that they've always had. But I'm just excited about the one we're in, and obviously to keep Minnesota. And I think if you went to everybody's campus, there's something going on there with everybody's probably going to say certain things because it affects them differently. But it's a new league. It's a new change, and it's going to bring about change.
With Ohio State there, just talk about that and how that impacts this program.
We've especially the last 2 years, the amount of signees we've had out of Ohio, it's really probably going to increase our efforts even more to the east and our traditional areas to the west, and in the Midwest here because of Nebraska, it's going to open up recruiting opportunities in all directions.
So if you're recruiting a kid from Ohio or Pennsylvania,
you can guarantee playing them every year.
That's a pitch you're going to make.
Iowa can't say the same thing. So there's benefits there that are probably way beyond than most people think. I couldn't have been more pleased. We found out a couple weeks ago what was going to happen and how it was going to be. And actually, during our 2 weeks of prep as coaches, really set in stone what we were going to do from a recruiting standpoint, knowing how it was going to come out.
A lot of people try to figure out which is a stronger division. Is it hard to project, obviously, 1 year down the road, let alone multiple years?
I think I said this in Big Ten's time. One of the first things I did is took a 20-year, a 10-year, and a 5-year record. In Wisconsin is a huge difference in the last 10 years than 20 because obviously after Coach arrived. But you knew it was going to pan out. Those 4 schools that have won that, you can't argue with that. I think it's a feather in Wisconsin's cap. To have Nebraska coming here, of all the plays, he didn't send them Ohio State, didn't send them Penn State or anywhere, he sent them to Wisconsin. And, I think there's a respect in this league that we have, and you guys know the other school that's probably about equal. So it was fun to get that reward.
How antsy is this team to get
going? This morning at 8:30, I always watch the hit film. Our video director brings it up, and obviously I haven't seen one since the Miami game, and you're building this morning. I was probably about the most excited 40-year-old in Madison at 8:30. Just because it was fun. It gets you jacked up and a lot of clips.
You mentioned earlier in the week that what he likes to do with special teams. Did they do anything tricky?
They got. I believe they ran 3 fake punts alone last year. Do some unique stuff in the kicking game, just kickoffs and sky kicks and an onside kick. So they weren't necessarily successful, but they did them. Teams defended them well. So they ran, I believe, 3 fakes last year. 1 worked, 2 didn't.
Do you think you can learn some things about your team on the road at night and the heat that you might not open in at home?
And biggest thing is how they're going to handle adverse situations, and obviously being on the road's adverse. Being a night game is different, and then just how they handle the game. I think we'll find a lot about these guys, at that trip.
Other than a win, what do you want to see from that first game?
I want to see our guys play well, efficient, see the things that you've seen out here in practice and see it carry over to game time experience. the things that we really hold dear to our heart here are being able to play physical football. Offensively, we need to, hang on to the football. We need to, be efficient with the third down, and when we're in the red zone, we need touchdowns, not field goals. And then defensively, we want to see guys, line up, communicate. There's been a huge emphasis on communication, so hopefully that's going to be something that shows up in all phases.
It looks like Kurt's a week away from returning to.
He's 4 weeks and 4 months and 2 weeks, so whatever, 4.5 months I think is what is. But he's so far advanced than everybody else. It's really at a point now is he strong enough to go in a live situation, because he's out there running around. He's done everything except for a live competition. So I think he's got to convince the docs that, hey, I can go. That my knee's at the strength and I can go.
You've talked a lot about focus. Has the focus been good so far?
It has.
I've
I've been a little bit amazed, that one day that Jeff asked about, that was really the one time in camp where I'm like, where are you guys coming from? For 27 practices, I think we're at now, to have that and be able to say that is pretty unique.
You gave out 3 scholarships to some walk-ons.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I should announce that. That's probably one of my favorite days in the entire year, just being a former walk-on myself and to bring those 3 guys, and it was tough to choose those 3. We have a number of guys that are worthy as well. My kind of rule has been get in and play, not just being the too deep to go in there and play effectively. And Ricky really helped us out last year. Ricky Wagner, I told the team yesterday, he's a guy that came in, I believe he was 260 when he first got here. Now he's over 330 pounds, and so he's had the biggest weight gain for sure. And it was neat. Ricky was emotional. It's a lot of hard work. Kyle Wada, he snapped every snap last year, and I told him when he sat him down, I'm doing this because I have faith in you that you're going to be able to do this year and next year. And a lot of people don't know his name, and that's a good thing. If you're the long snapper and everybody knows your name, it's usually not good. And then just the way that Rob Corslin has battled through everything he's gone through personally and emotionally, and then he's going to graduate at the end of this year, 4 years in an engineering school. So, it speaks volumes of what kind of kid he is.
Is there anything you can take from the recent matchup with UNLV that can carry over or apply to this coming game?
Well, there's some of those kids played on our roster were there on that trip, and then vice versa. I think the quarterback that came in and did some nice things against us, he's playing DB now. So don't really know. How much the personnel, because you're uncertain of what strategies they're going to run. But I know this: they play hard on defense last year. Weren't overly productive, but Coach Houck and his staff, I know, is going to have them very, very sound in all 3 phases.
Tough to keep them focused in Vegas.
You know what? They want. I'm breaking down and letting them get a bus tour of the Strip, but otherwise they don't even know where they're at. We take them to the hotel and lock them down, and we'll go to the stadium on Saturday and get a chance to walk around. But they don't see Vegas like all the others are going to see Vegas, I'm sure.
With Corslin doing some things, is Cadigan now maybe
yeah.
if he's going to play?
Well, Rashad, he was right there, and we've kind of thrown that one around this week. Right now, we're not going to use him. We're going to get through this game and see where he's at. Manessa Garner, we're going to take with us, and we really think that we'd like to use him. But Monty, we didn't use till the 4th game last year. We kind of brought him along, and he did help us down the stretch. So, and then of course, Bo Allen's going to play for sure, and then that's the only guy on defense.
How much does that depth that you guys have at running back help with the physicality? When games start to get physical, that you can sub guys out over and over again?
Well, John, he's the first to tell you, I think, that he was able to have production numbers last year because Monty came in and spelled him, and Zach came in, and we're going to do what we do. Whoever lines up a tailback is going to get the carries, and my guess is that there's going to be somebody at the end of the year that's got a few more than the others, but whoever lines up back there, we feel very confident about those 3 guys.
Were there only 3 scholarships available for the walk-ons, or did you bank some?
No, we basically hand out everything that we can.
Wisconsin and UNLV will square off on the Versus Network Saturday night at 10 p.m. Be sure to visit uwbadgers.com for the most complete post-game coverage.
An overwhelming sea of red. First, you hear it. Then you feel it. You know it's game day. Wisconsin versus San Jose State. Get your tickets now.